Hey guys, welcome back to the Terror Zone. Today we'll be talking about, of course, the most deep. We have talked about Pocahontas before on this channel. Now we're going to talk about Moana, the Polynesian story. Now, Moana is actually not a real character herself in the story of Polynesian culture. Moana was a made-up character that Disney has made up, oddly enough, as a god. Now, I think they definitely did it based on different girls who loved the ocean and different stories like that. Now, in Polynesian culture, people love the sea. And with that in mind, Moana was a great character choice to make her a real character. They used her as a tool to make her a super bestie towards Maui, which we will talk about, the original story of Maui, which is most of what the movie is based off of, and many gods in Polynesian culture, like the thunder god in the Moana 2. Now, most of that is based off of the original god stories, with different monsters like the eels, the Kakamora, Tamatoa, and many other characters like that. With a live-action movie coming out pretty soon, we'll have to take a look at more characters like these very soon. But here are the real stories of Maui, and based on the folklore of his different stories. Now, most of the things that happen in Disney with the movies and gods are very much accurate, pretty much to Hercules, pretty much. So I won't be going over every single detail that happens, because if anything was different, we'd be here all day. So I'm only going to go over the things that are different within the stories itself, including mostly Maui's stories, because most of the other stuff are just very accurate. Maui is very different compared to most gods. He's a trickster god, so we'll be looking into his culture. Now, if you've seen my Brad video, you would know that a lot of Maui is based off of different trickster characters. Mostly Maui. Maui is very similar to that, where he plays tricks by him becoming the hero of the story. With that in mind, here are a few things about Maui that they don't share in Disney movies right here, right now, where things get darker. And believe me, it is a ride. Well, anyway, since all these things are original and everything else like that, we're only going to be looking at Maui's side of the story. Now, I'm going towards the end of the Terror Zone here with the animated Disney movies. But if you want to check out more and what stories are based off of, I think I might take a look at many more. Strange World and Raya the Last Dragon. So keep a lookout for those coming up pretty soon. And Encanto. But Encanto will be a while until then. But anyway, here is the Moana story. Maui was the youngest of 4 brothers. Yeah, so in the real story, he has 4 brothers. Just like in the deleted scene, they're going to have Moana have 12 brothers, which is kind of crazy. And she was going to be the youngest out of the 12 brothers, which is even more crazier. One day, he hid in a basket to go sail with them. You see, he was the youngest out of the 4 brothers, and because of that, he could not sail with them. But he stowed away in a basket. He really wanted to go really badly. But he reluctantly agreed to take him sailing, and Maui proved himself worthy to be a part of their group. Ever since that day. This is actually based off of the scene we see Moana's sister do. She hides in a tiny basket to stow away in Moana 2, where she tries to stow away in there too with Moana. Unfortunately, Moana actually finds her in there and gets her out. So you don't get to see that happen. Of course, just like in this song, You're Welcome, Maui mentions that he fought millions and many different monsters, and most of them are very accurate within the movie itself. So we won't be looking over every single monster, because we'd be here all day if we did. He also lassoed the sun, which is also very accurate to the song as well. His parents, now we're going to talk over his parents. According to the movie, the parents threw him into the sea, and the gods made him a demigod. But in the original story, the parents just didn't abandon him. They just threw him because they had too many babies already. They already had 4, and he was the youngest of 4. Maui of course, was a surprise, was a oopsie baby, as they say, I think. Anyway, Maui was thrown into the sea, but the sea didn't want him. So just like in Moana, where the ocean's the main character spits him right back out to the family, saying that you're gonna have to keep this kid. So there you go. And with that in mind, the parents decided to raise him anyway, even though they never even wanted him in the first place. Sheesh. Anyway, there is many different stories about Maui, and like I said before, all are pretty accurate within the movie. And here's the darkest story of them all, the one about where he stole the heart from Te Fiti. Now, this one is very interesting, and it's very different compared to the original story. But we will talk about it right here, right now. The original story of how he got the heart of Te Fiti. Now, one day he decides to get the heart of Te Fiti for, of course, for the villagers. Him and his brothers went to go see Te Fiti, but to go steal the heart. Now, what his plan, Maui became a plan. He was actually really smart in this version. Maui decides to create a plan to get the heart by turning his brothers into crows. You see, not only could he turn himself into animals, he could turn his brothers into animals as well. So, he turned his brothers into crows, and they flew him off to the tree where they saw him lay there. And they would tell him when to get him out of Te Fiti's body after. So Te Fiti went through Te Fiti's mouth, through her body in the inside, and went to go get the heart of Te Fiti. He decided to go through her, well, I don't know if I could say it on here, her vagina. Ugh. So, I'll have to censor this particular video. But anyway, Maui tries to go through there, but Te Fiti was sleeping at the time. The crows wake silently waiting for Maui. But what they didn't know was that Maui was swimming down the thing, and Te Fiti woke up, saw the crows, and knew exactly what was going on immediately. And she killed Maui in the most deadly and weirdest way possible. Her vagina snapped on his body, killing him. The crows flew off, blowing Maui's cover. They were supposed to save him earlier before he defeated the heart. But with that in mind, Te Fiti was not a fire god or anything. She defeated Maui herself without the help of Moana at all, defeating Maui with that killing spree on. What a crazy story. Anyway, I hope you like this real story about Moana and Maui himself. And I'll see you next time. Bye!